Howdy, y'all. So this is the ephemeral part of the opening, where if I really need to, I can lie and say I wasn't here, because that's how words work. They don't just stay, they go away. And what's more is, if I do feel like I did a good job, but I feel like I could have done a better job, I can lie more and say it was great. So that's the best thing about reading. Aside from the fact that there's video being taken and I have my words on paper, those could be deleted. So the thing about this piece, the reason I open up talking about words being ephemeral, lying, being determined to make reality what it is, I've always found love very frustrating because you can't just try really hard to make it happen. I think they're American. I think they're an American band called the Raspberries, and they have a lyric, "I'm going to try a little harder, and maybe you'll love me." So, of all the things to write about while I was in Olafsfjordur, I thought of love as something that felt true to me. It felt the most urgent topic to read about, or to write about. And I wrote at length about it, and I thought at length about it. And so I decided to write about a young man. This is the first chapter of a novella I'm working on, not yet finished. A young man who is so determined for love that he tries to will it into being. Later in the story, he tries to will a pregnancy upon the object of his affection, as if this were something that he would be able to do. And he comes to truly believe it. But this is the opening to Raymond's trials with love. "Is it true she'll never think of me again?" Raymond asked the psychic. He's so confused. During karaoke at Emily and Bertrand's wedding reception, he stole the microphone when it was supposed to be her song, but a stumbling drunkard took it. Raymond bravely handed it to her, and his French fry looked into his eyes. Who said she wanted any favors from Raymond? Huh? But she took the microphone and sang, she loves him, even if she can't tell. Or how about this? Raymond and the French fry, with everyone else departed or sleeping, continued to sing. Words don't come easy to me. And all night she wants a young American. And couldn't she tell that they were singing about one another? And finally, at the end of the night, he looked into her eyes, and she in his, and after a long, enduring silence, she said goodnight brusquely and with resentment because he hadn't made a move. But she was playing right into his game. Granted, they may not be his games. What really happened was he was too scared because she was too pretty. But Emily told him that it was good he didn't make a move because now she'll be more interested. And to think, before this magical night, he wrote her off at the wedding proper because he's an ugly boy and she's a savory snack. But when she recognized him, she said, "Oh, it's you." "You? Who's you?" She called him you. She was happy to see him. She thought she might never again. And now, with she in France, he in America, can she really let go of those sparks? Aren't the pains of love so strong that she can feel his American spirit blown across the ocean? Won't she be jealous and resentful as he writes poetry without her name in it? And really, he's writing plenty of poetry about her. Manifestos about love, longing, infatuation, first sight encounters, meaning, belonging. But the psychic speaks bluntly. Look at me, young man. I'm speaking to you not as a psychic, but as a normal, everyday medium you might cross at the grocer's or the post office. Longing is written all over your face, but just because you feel it, no matter how hard you feel it, no matter how strongly you channel that warmth and that urgency, she won't know. And even if she did, she'd likely not care. Love isn't always mutual, and the stronger you feel it doesn't make it any more so. Raymond sits there listening. You long for her because she's gone. You're in love with a figment of your imagination. Raymond is ashamed. You poor thing. This happens to you often, doesn't it? The love, the longing, the pain. Yes, all the time. It's when I'm most driven, most passionate, but sometimes I wonder how I'll get through life if I feel this strongly. The psychic pulls out a piece of rolling paper. This is how dense most people's souls are. And this here, as the psychic pulls out another sheet of rolling paper, is yours. She cuts the paper in half. Your soul is dense with love. You have a rich concentration of passion. The psychic pulls out the tobacco now, 2 equal pinches. She wraps her cigarette easily and smokes it. Now try with yours. I don't smoke, Raymond says. The psychic wafts her hands towards him. Go ahead, roll the paper. Raymond stuffs the tobacco in and struggles to close it. You can't smoke it, can you? The psychic asks. It falls apart, Raymond says. The psychic continues. When people take an interest in you, your soul is so pure that it can't contain the vices and poisons that most people's souls carry. You can love so profoundly because you don't have those vices and poisons. You are healthy. This is news to Raymond. He considers himself far from anything one would ever call healthy. Someday, though, you will meet someone as pure at heart as you, and your longing and pain will prove to be worth the wait. The psychic flips on the lights. $50, get out of my tent. Raymond leaves feeling wonderful. Gosh, he knew all of this already, but to hear it from a professional means the world to him. He's special. He's different. He's too good for these women, for his French fry from Paris. Oh, there's the sore spot. His French fry, the frog, the tart. None of what he heard in the psychic's tent will help him get her. His initial plan was to get her pregnant, and not as a trick. She wanted to be pregnant. It was the secret she told him in the secret room, the makeshift confessional, the fake Icelandic wedding ritual at the reception. She said, I want a baby. I don't know if it's biological, but I used to babysit before I started acting. And one day, a woman came up to me and said, he has your eyes. But I said, I know. Their child was to be a gift, a small favor. The same way one might lend someone's car a jump, or let someone hold on to their lighter. Common courtesy that goes just a little above and beyond, but not too much. That's what their child is going to be. And she'd hold their child to the sea. I guess she'd have to be in Portugal, so maybe on vacation. She'd hold their child to the sea and say, "Your father is over the sea. Whenever you are here, I want you to look to the ocean and say, Daddy, we miss you." Maybe the child would grow, visit Portugal, and do this very thing. Maybe Raymond would hear it and come. It would have at least given him an excuse to see her again. Raymond walks away from the psychic's tent and roams the fair. Life really is like a roller coaster for Raymond. It's a common cycle for him. Infatuation, jealousy, resentment, pretending he didn't feel those last two feelings, and then rejection. And it never freaking works. And looking at it that way, it doesn't even seem all that pleasant for him. Infatuation may feel good, but the rest sure doesn't. But just like that cigarette, that infatuation period is dense with ecstasy. What the hell is wrong with Raymond? Thank you.